Today marks 19 years since the deadly school shooting in Columbine, Colorado, and students across the country are using the day to draw attention to their call for gun control. Thousands walked out of school this morning trying to keep pressure on lawmakers and to honor the victims of Columbine and the many other school shootings. The rallies are an extension of the response to the Parkland, Florida massacre back in February. CBS News correspondent Jericka Duncan is down in Washington Square Park in New York City, near the heart of the New York University campus, many other colleges in the area. Jericka, what's the scene like down there? It sounds loud.
Well, I'm sure you can hear the scene. There's a speaker right now, but for the most part, this area, Washington Square Park, about 100 or so kids started here around 10 o'clock this morning. But as you can see right now, there are easily 3,000 to 4,000 students, mainly high school students, that have joined here with their various signs, basically talking about coming together and really supporting this anti-gun violence movement. Over here is where the speakers have been at the podium all morning, really talking about what you talked about in the very beginning, which is paying homage to the folks who were killed in Columbine 19 years ago, and then making a point to talk about the number of mass shootings that this country has experienced since that Columbine shooting in 1999. But again, there's a lot of students out here. They're talking about being educated. They're talking about ways that they can get what they want to accomplish. Still on the agenda, a ban on assault weapons. Still on the agenda, wanting it to be harder for people to get guns. And really the message that I'm seeing on a lot of these posters is protecting the future. And these children really and students know that they are the next to lead this country, and they say that they are going to make sure that their voices are heard. There's also voter registration tables here to ensure that those who can vote will vote. Joining me, though, is Maddie, and remind me of your last name. Lebedkin. She is a 16-year-old junior. You came out here along with many other high school students today. Why was it so important for you to be here?
It was so important because I am tired of going to my classroom and going to my school and going to public places and going to movie theaters and being terrified that someone's going to walk in and shoot me with a gun or shoot my peers or shoot someone I love. I'm tired of that.
What sort of changes do you want to see? Because I think, we've seen the protests before. We haven't seen it in this way.
Yeah.
But what do you think will actually change as a result of students and young people coming together like they have been over the last couple of months?
I think that students, our generation is going to be the generation that's going to change what's happening in our country. And I believe that it's time to have more extensive gun control. And I think it's time for background checks. And I think it's time for, not just anyone to walk in and get a gun, because I'm tired, like I said before, I'm tired of people who are my age being killed because it could have been me, it could have been my best friend, it could have been my classmate.
You're too young to vote, but what will you do over these next 2 years, aside from attending protests like this?
I will, I advocate on social media myself. I will keep attending protests like this. I will be outspoken. I will organize within my school. If I need to, I will make sure that every single person has a voice.
Thank you so much, Maddie. So that's, again, just a sentiment here, Brooke, in terms of what we're seeing, what we're hearing. There is a police presence here. There hasn't been any scenes of violence. But again, talking to other people who are covering this, one of the concerns is when you do have a situation like this, there is now that fear post-Parkland and many other mass shootings that someone could try something here. So safety and security is also important, but the message for these students even more important.
Okay, Jericka Duncan down at Washington Square Park. Thanks, Jericka.